across the country, Montana has fared among the best of all the states that have been affected by this virus. I understand that the governor and a lot of our elected officials are under a tremendous amount of pressure. So yes, for the most part, I do absolutely support what's been done, and if the next governor or the next legislative body continues these policies, I will support them. The issue of mail-in voting is often fear-mongered by the other side. I feel like this is something that is necessary due to the current situation with the pandemic. I feel as though we need to encourage people to, if they want to mail in their ballots, of course, if they want to go into the polls, that's fine, but we should absolutely have it available for people to mail in. And I oppose any attempt to fearmonger this. And I'd like to say that I'd be interested in hearing my opponent, Edward Buttry's opinion on this, because in 2013, he voted to repeal same-day voting registration, which the then president of AARP said that this will affect seniors' ability to vote. So as it's pretty obvious, I believe that a lot of seniors are going to be voting through mail-in ballots. So I would be interested in hearing his answer on that as well. Unequivocally opposed. It's been made clear by the people of Montana they oppose a sales tax. I would oppose a sales tax. This isn't about demagoguery. This is about representing the people who elected me, and the people who would elect me oppose a sales tax. It's just been proven time and time again. So absolutely unequivocally opposed to a sales tax. I absolutely unequivocally again support legalizing marijuana. It's the only reason why marijuana is currently illegal is because the pharmaceutical companies realize they'll take a hit from this, and that's why you see pharmaceutical companies pouring money into Montana to try and stonewall this initiative. And so, of course, I would support legalizing marijuana, both recreationally. I know it's already legal medically, but just making sure it's available to people. That's why I brought up the medical point. But recreationally too, absolutely. If we're going to allow alcohol, people say, well, somebody could smoke weed and then go get in a car accident. Well, the same thing applies to alcohol. So I do support legalizing marijuana, and I do believe there is a great amount of potential for uh, procuring a great deal of state revenue, considering, look at the other states, such as my home state of Washington, which again, I grew up in Great Falls. I'm originally from Washington, Colorado. These states that have legalized marijuana are doing incredibly well in regards to their economic situation. Affordable Care Act, the issue is no longer do you think it was a perfect system? Do you support it? That ship has sailed, it's been implemented. The issue that we're facing right now is when you repeal Obamacare, as I'll call it for simplicity's sake, without putting a replacement in place, is that you'll remove scores of people from coverage, and that affects many people, including many of my constituents. Again, I'd be interested in hearing Edward Buttry's answer on this. I'll be checking out that article that you're referring to, considering that the Center for Public Policy said that his caveats to Medicaid expansion could result in tens of thousands of case losses. It allows for tens of thousands of case losses. So I'd be interested in hearing his response on that. But absolutely, I oppose repealing Obamacare as it stands now because of how many people will affect, how many people will remove from coverage. I say that the biggest issue, and this goes hand in hand with the pandemic, is people's employment situation, because so many people have been laid off during this pandemic. In Great Falls, Black Eagle, these are blue collar working class communities. My family's blue collar. I worked in blue collar work. I understand these people. I'm one of them. So I think the biggest issue is protecting our employee or public employees. Sorry, not public employees, but our workers. And the way that I'm proposing we do that, if we a gradual raise of the minimum wage to $15 an hour over the course of a few years, with, of course, a tax break for small businesses so that they can afford to do so. The we have to make sure that our workers are able to live and survive working their current jobs. And as far as the people who have been laid off, we absolutely need to be supporting them. We need to. I would support on a statewide level doing something like what Maine did throughout the rest of the pandemic, and that is sending checks of, I don't know, maybe $2,500 a month to people, and not just people who have been laid off, all people. And so I would definitely support that. I'd be open to working with my colleagues and Helena on passing something in that vein. As I said before, I bring a fresh take and a fresh perspective, and I grew up working class. I I all I know is blue collar work, and as I said, I'll advocate for workers. I'll fight to slash Montana, Great Falls, particularly Great Falls Black Eagle last teen pregnancy rates. We've got to reform our sexual education standards to not focus on abstinence, but rather focus on prevention. Well, I want to free nonviolent drug offenders and to expunge the records of those who've been previously convicted. We have to, because right now Cascade County is dealing with prison overcrowding that is not being seen in the rest of the state. So my priorities lie with those of Great Falls. My opponent has taken over $3,000 in corporate PAC money. He voted again. He voted to repeal same-day voter registration hurting seniors. He voted to he voted to allow employers to quash employee discussion of wages in 2019. His caveats to Medicaid expansion cost tens of thousands. It could potentially cost tens of thousands their Medicaid. So, in my view, the choice is clear. I am the outsider. I'm a candidate for the people. My opponent is a candidate for corporations' interests, and I will fight for Great Falls and Black Eagle if I am sent to Helena, which I would be incredibly honored to be sent this January if I'm elected. Again, to voters, I will fight for you. I will advocate for you. I'm one of you, and I know struggles. I know so many people. I know the vast majority of the people in my district, and I will fight for you. I will advocate for you, and I will be honored to have your vote. Please consider voting for me. Dios te bendiga y mucho amor.